So we start the new chapter, polyphase circuit. So what is the meaning of polyphase system or polyphase circuit? Can anyone have an idea? What is the meaning of polyphase circuit? Yes, anyone? What is the meaning of polyphase?
Sir, a circuit having more than two or three phases.
Yes, the circuit which have more than one phase. Okay, like two phase, three phase. Yeah. Generally, we use the single phase and three phase circuit. Okay, so more than one phase we generally use, that is a three phase circuit. Okay, or three phase system, we can say that. Yeah. So in this chapter we understand about the three phase system and how your three phase system is more advantageous as compared to the single phase system. Yeah. As you know that at our home we generally use the single phase system. Okay, single phase supply. All this we use the single phase system. But if you see that power is generated by the three phase generator here, and they transmitted and distributed also by the three phase system. And when it reach at the load side at your home, then at this point you get the single phase. Okay, by taking the one phase and another is neutral wire, so you get the single phase. But in some of the application you require the three phase power also. Like for the large power application you can use the three phase power. Yes. So the reason is that why, because the three phase system gives the more power as compared to the single phase power or single phase circuit power. Yeah. So in industry where large power is required, in that particular application we require the three phase power. Yeah. So first of all, in this chapter we understand what are the advantages of this three phase circuit over the single phase circuit or single phase system. Clear? So how to generate the single phase? So it is generated by the single phase generator, and the single phase generator has only one armature winding. There is a two windings, one is a stator winding and another rotor winding. So the winding on the stator we call as armature winding. Clear? So in this generator, single phase generator, we have only single armature winding, so that produces only single phase. Clear? Where in the three phase generator we have three winding, three armature winding, and all these three windings are 120-degree display from each other. 120-degree display from each other, so that generate the three phase power. Clear? All this winding produce a one phase power, so combine this, that give the three phase power, and all these three phase powers are 120-degree from each other. So that system is called as a three phase system. Clear? So why we say that three phase system is more advantageous as compared to the single phase system? So let's see the number of advantages. Okay, before that you can see here the graphically how the single phase generator generates the single phase, two phase and three phase generator generate the two phase as well as three phase. So you can see that first diagram, there is a single coil, single armature winding that generate the single phase supply. This phase A, that is a single phase supply. This is alternating in nature. Yeah, like you can see here the second figure, you have two coils and both the coils are 90-degree display from each other. Yeah, so you can see that generate the two phases. One coil which has a terminal name A1 and A2, that generate the phase A. Okay, and second coil B, that generate the phase B. So you can see the phase difference between phase A and phase B is 90-degree, because both these coils are displayed from each other by angle 90-degree. Clear? Same way, suppose you use the three coil A, B and C, and all these three coils are 120-degree apart from each other. So that generates the three phase like this way. You can see in the waveform, phase A generated by the coil A, and phase B that is generated by coil B, and that it is 120 degree apart from phase A. Same way phase C, which is generated by coil C, that is 240 degree apart from coil A, or you can say that 120 degree apart from phase B. Clear? So by this way, this three coil, if displayed by 120 degree, so that generate the three phase power. Clear? So this is the way we can generate the three phase power in the three phase generator. Clear? So now let's check what are the advantages of the three phase system over the single phase system. So first advantage is that in the single phase circuit, instantaneous power that is varies sinusoidally from 0 to peak value at twice of the supply frequency. It means that your suppose your supply frequency is 50 hertz. So the instantaneous power P that is varies at a 100 hertz frequency. We will see in the next point how they vary at twice of the supply frequency. So this pulsating nature of this power is sometimes objectionable for the some of the application. Yeah. So for this type of pulsating power, some type of load cannot work properly. Clear? So for that case, you require the balanced three-phase system. So if you see the three-phase system, balanced three-phase system is the system in which all the three phase have the same value of load. Clear? Suppose A phase has 50 ohm load, B phase also has 50 ohm load, and C phase also has 50 ohm load. It means balanced load is connected with each phase. Then we can say that it is a balanced three-phase system. So in the balanced three-phase system, power supply to all instant of time, that is remain constant. And because of this, the operating characteristic of three-phase apparatus, it means three-phase load, that is more superior as compared to the single-phase apparatus. Yeah. So this is the advantage of three-phase power as compared to the single-phase power. Now, second advantage that is greater output by the three-phase machine or three-phase generator. So for the same power rating, suppose I want to generate the 100 megawatt power from one generator. If I am use the three-phase machine or three-phase generator and same rating of single-phase generator, so in both the cases, both the generator generate the same power, but in the case of single-phase generator, the size of the machine becomes very large. So we can say that for the with the same value of volume and weight of the machine, the three-phase generator generate the more power as compared to the single-phase generator. So this is one of the main advantage of using the three-phase system as compared to the single-phase system. So let's understand these 2 points or 2 advantages of this three-phase generator by one video, so you can clearly understand it.
Electrical energy is generated, transmitted, and distributed in the form of three-phase power. Homes and small premises are connected with single-phase power. But most of the time, you will find that three-phase power is more preferred over single-phase power. The three-phase machineries are more efficient than single-phase. But why it is like that? Why three-phase power is preferred over single-phase? And what is the basic difference between three-phase and single-phase power? To understand the concept of three-phase power, we first must understand the single-phase power. So consider that we have a generator with one winding which has two terminals A and A1 and a permanent magnet which is rotating inside the generator and which is driven by some external source like turbine. When this magnet will start rotating, a sinusoidal voltage will get induced across the terminal of this winding. The sinusoidal voltage is generated if we connect a resistor across the terminals of the winding. The resistor will start taking current, and if we draw the waveform for current, it will look like this. And we'll find that current is in phase with voltage. In phase, it simply means that both, that is voltage and current, start at same time, reaches their peak at same time and gets zero at same time. Now, to get the instantaneous power, I'll simply multiply the voltage with current and the resultant power waveform will look like this. This point is my peak power point, that is.
So you can see that here in one cycle of your voltage or current with a 50 hertz voltage or current, your power is vary with the frequency of 100 hertz. Yeah. So that's why in this first advantage it is written that it is a pulsating nature and it varies with the twice of your supply frequency. And if you take the average value of this power, then you get the half of your maximum power. The maximum power is this. If you take the average of this power, so that is exactly half of the maximum power. So that is one of the disadvantage of single phase system.
Is power at this point is highest. The funny thing about single phase power is that the average power is one half of its peak value. You can do the math and find that if peak power is 2p, then the average power is p only. And also the power output is not constant. Now let's say using the previous single phase generator, I added one more winding with terminal B and B1. Please note the winding B1 is displaced 90 degree from winding A1. The interesting part of this arrangement is that when the magnet is in the position shown, voltage across winding A1 is maximum, or we can say it is at its peak, and voltage across winding B1 is almost zero. This is because the flux only cuts across the terminal in slot A and A1 at this instance. So of course, when the magnet will rotate by 90 degree, mechanically the voltage across winding B1 will reach its positive peak and the voltage across winding A1 will be zero. Therefore, we can say that these two voltages are out of phase by 90 degree. This simply means that one voltage will reach its peak before 90 degree than the other. Now let me connect identical resistor across both the winding. Current IR1 and IR2 will start flowing through resistors. These currents are in phase with their respective voltage and hence they are also out of phase with each other by 90 degree. The instantaneous power of both the resistor is as shown. Here you can notice that when the power output of resistor R1 is 0, power output of resistor R2 is maximum and vice versa. If we add instantaneous power of both the phases, we will find that the resultant power is constant and equal to the peak power Pm of one phase. In simple words, the power output of two-phase generator is constant and better than single-phase generator. Now you might have already got why we use three-phase power, but still to make things more clear, we'll have a look at three-phase power. Again, consider our two-phase generator, but this time we'll add one more winding CC1 and we'll place these three windings 120 degree apart from each other as shown. When the magnet will rotate, an identical voltage will get induced across all the three windings. As we have placed winding 120 degree apart from each other, the voltage induced in three phases will also be out of phase by 120 degree. Or simply, each voltage will reach their peak value after 120 degree. Let me make things more clear. When the magnet is in the position shown, voltage across winding A1 is maximum. When the magnet rotates by 120 degree, the voltage across winding B1 is maximum. When magnet rotates by 240 degrees from its initial position, voltage across winding CC1 gets maximum. Now let me connect identical resistor across all the three windings. Current IR1 IR2 and IR3 will start flowing through resistors. These currents are in phase with their respective voltage and hence they are also out of phase with each other by 120 degree. Again, doing the same procedure we did for two-phase generator, we'll find that the power output we are getting by adding the instantaneous power of all three phases is constant and it is 1.5 times the peak power of one phase. So here we have achieved constant and more power by simply adding two extra windings to single phase generator. And this is the reason why three phase power is more preferred over single phase power. So to summarize this topic, the single phase power output is not constant and the average power is half than its maximum power. Two-phase power output is constant at every instant and the average power is equal to the maximum power of one phase. Three-phase power is also constant at every instant and the average power is 1.5 times the maximum power of one phase.
So I think it is clear to you how this three-phase system is advantageous as compared to the single-phase system. So that's why you can see here in the first advantage, in a single-phase circuit, instantaneous power is varies sinusoidally from 0 to peak. If you see the waveform for the single-phase generator, it varies twice of the supply frequency and it is a pulsating in nature. We take the average power that is at every instant of time that is vary. So this pulsating nature of power is objectionable for particular load. Yeah. But if you're talking about the three-phase balance load, three-phase system, they provide the constant power at all instant of time. Yeah. So that's why if you provide the three-phase power to any load, so the characteristic of this load is superior as compared to the single-phase power. Clear? So this is the first advantage, that three-phase power provides the constant power to the load. Second advantage, we already see in the video, greater output power. Single phase power give the average output power half of your maximum value. Two phase power gives the average power equal to its maximum value, where three phase power gives the average power 1.5 times its maximum value. Yes. So for the same rating of the generator, three phase or single phase machine, the weight or volume required is less in the case of three phase generator as compared to the single phase generator. Yeah. So this is another advantage of three phase generator. Third advantage is that the three phase motor is much smaller or less expensive than single phase motor if both are made of same rating, because if you make the single phase motor, suppose like 50 horsepower rating in the same three phase motor, so in the case of three phase motor you require the less material like copper for your winding, iron for the core, and insulation for your copper winding. Clear? So because of that, the overall size and cost of the three phase motor become less expensive as compared to the single phase motor for the same rating of the machine. Yeah. So three phase motor, second advantage, that three phase motor is self starting. It means three phase motor not require any external device to start the motor. But if you see that the single phase motor, that requires the external starting device. Clear? If you know that at our home, in our fan, which is nothing but a single phase motor, so in that single phase motor is not a self starting. So for that, to make it self start, we require the capacitor. Clear? If you see that at the bottom or at the top of the fan, there is a one box that is nothing but a capacitor that is required for starting of this motor. So single phase motor is not a self starting device or self starting motor, where three phase motor, that is a self starting device. It means it not require any capacitor to start it. Okay, so this is the one advantage of using the three phase device as compared to the single phase motor. Clear? All of you understand these three advantages of three-phase system? All of you? Yes or no? Clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now move for the next advantage of three-phase system. That is a power transmission economy. So generally all the power transmitted and generated by the three-phase system. Three-phase generator generates the three-phase power and it is transmitted also by the three-phase system. So if you compare the transmission of three-phase power with the single-phase power transmission, so again, the transmission of three-phase power is more economical as compared to the single-phase power transmission. Even if we use or we require the three conductors in three-phase system. So let's understand how three-phase system power transmission become economical. Suppose we want to transmit the 100 megawatt power through both the transmission line, one by three-phase system and another by the single-phase system. Clear? In three-phase system, we know that we require the three wire R, Y, and B phase, where in the single-phase system we have only one conductor, so we require the only one conductor to transmit the power. But we want to transmit the same power, so the size of the conductor we require in the single phase, that is more than the material we require in the three-phase system for three conductors. So for the same power transmission, for the fixed distance, suppose I transmit the 100 megawatt power to the 50 kilometer distance, so in that case, in the three-phase system, I require the 3/4 weight of the copper material for the conductors as compared to the single-phase system. Like understand this by one example. Suppose I require the 100 kg of copper to transmit the power using the single-phase system. But in the same power transmission in the three-phase system, I require the 75 kg of copper conductor to transmit the power. So overall cost of the conductor is less in case of three-phase power transmission as compared to the single-phase power transmission. Another more advantage is that because of the less weight of conductor, because of the less weight of copper material we use, the supporting towers we require for the three-phase power transmission, that size is also less as compared to the supporting tower we require in the single-phase system. If you see that nearby the road, there are huge towers who provide the support to this three-phase power transmission. If the weight of the conductor is more, you require the high strength of this supporting tower. Clear? But here we can say that for the same power transmission, the weight of the copper conductor required in the three-phase conductor, that is less as compared to the single-phase system. So the strength or weight of this supporting tower also becomes less as compared to the single-phase supporting towers. Clear? So overall, for the same power transmission, same distance, the three-phase power transmission system becomes more economical as compared to the single-phase system. Clear? So that's why you always transmit the power through the three-phase system over a long distance, because it is more economical as compared to the single-phase system. Second advantage, that three-phase rectifier service. Suppose we require the DC power. Suppose our load is DC motor, large DC motor, but we have suppose three-phase power. So how to get the three-phase power? So that is by using the rectifier circuit. We convert this three-phase power into DC power. Okay. So if you have three-phase power, so converting the three-phase power into DC power, that is more advantageous, because when this rectifier, three-phase rectifier, convert this AC into DC, then this output DC that contains the less harmonic or less ripple as compared to the when single phase rectifier convert AC to DC. So if you rectify by the rectifier, by any rectifier, three-phase or single-phase rectifier, the output DC voltage is not pure DC or not constant DC. That is a ripple in the output voltage. Clear? So to get the constant DC, you require the filter. The ripple contained in your output voltage means this output contains the harmonics. And harmonic is not good for your load. So to remove the harmonic, you require the filter. But in case of the three-phase rectifier, the output contains the less ripple as compared to the ripple produced by the single-phase rectifier. So filter size required in the three-phase rectifier is less size and less weight as compared to the filter size required in the single-phase system. So that is another advantage of three-phase system when we rectify the power from three-phase to DC or from single phase to DC. Another advantage that three-phase system can set up the rotating uniform magnetic field in the stationary winding. Because all these three phases are 120 degree apart from each other. So by the combination of all these three phases, they generate the rotating magnetic field. And this cannot be happen with the use of single phase circuit. Because they have only single phase. But in the three-phase system, 120 degree apart from each other. So by combine all these three phases, they generate the rotating uniform magnetic field. And that is responsible for starting the three-phase motor without any external device, or they can operate with the self-start. And because of this reason, single-phase motor cannot operate without any other device like capacitor. So that's why in the single phase motor we require the capacitor to start the motor. In three phase motor we not require any capacitor to start the motor. Another advantage that three phase motor is more efficient and high power factor than the single phase motor for the same capacity of power rating. That is also another advantage. The high power factor means what? As we know the equation of power, P is equal to VI cos phi. Clear? If your power factor is high, it means cos phi is high. It means your output power P, that is very high. And when output power is high, it means that your load do the more work as compared to the low power factor condition. Clear? So high power factor of the three-phase motor, it means that three-phase motor gives us more output power as compared to the power output given by the low power factor machine like single phase motor. Clear? So all are the advantages of three-phase system compared to the single phase system. Clear? So maybe in the exam you can ask that write down the advantage of three-phase system over the single phase system. So you can write all these 6 points and clearly explain each and every advantage in detail. Clear? So I think all of you understand this. Is there any query in this advantage of three-phase system over single-phase system? Yes?
Sir, can you explain again that how it is self-starting?
Okay. See, when any rotating machine rotate, how it is rotated? You know that how any machine is rotated? When you provide the single phase power, clear?
Yes, sir.
Or when you provide the three phase power. So what happens inside the machine or inside the motor? When you provide the single phase power, what will happen? Flux is produced. And that flux is what? Only single flux. The same nature of sinusoidal supply. So sinusoidal flux is produced, but that is only single flux. Clear? But in the three-phase system, you can see this diagram. You can consider this as a motor. Okay, you can see that single phase motor is a one winding. This is a two-phase winding, two-phase motor, or this last one is a three-phase winding, three-phase motor. So in the single-phase motor, what happened? They generate only single-phase flux or single flux. Clear? So single flux cannot able to produce the torque. Torque is responsible for rotation of your rotor, of your machine. So when torque is produced, when at least two flux is present, then and then possible that torque is produced. Clear? So if you're talking about the two-phase machine, second case, so you can see the two-phase A and B. Clear? So in this case, both these coils are 90 degrees apart from each other. Clear? So in this case, by the mutual coupling of two flux of phase A and phase B, that generate the torque. Because to produce the torque, they require at least two flux. Clear? Or at least two phase. So here in this case, two phase. So this B and A phase flux intersect. Both are intersect at 90 degree. But again, this flux, intersecting flux, not much high value, which is responsible for generating the high torque. It generates the torque, but this torque is very less as compared to the torque produced by the three-phase motor. What happens in the three-phase motor? You can see that three winding. So three-phase generate the three flux, and all these three flux are 120 degree apart from each other. So by mutual coupling or coupling of all these three-phase flux, they generate the rotating magnetic flux in this air gap. And this rotating magnetic flux exert the force on this rotor. And this force is high enough to rotate your motor. And because of that, it not require the self-starting. But in case of single phase motor, because you have only single phase, so how to get the second phase to generate the torque? So for in single phase motor, we require the capacitor. So when you connect the capacitor in parallel with this coil 1, what will happen? This coil 1 produce this one phase flux, sinusoidal flux, and parallel connected capacitor that also produce the flux. But this flux is what? Somewhat angle out of phase with this flux. Clear? When two flux are out of phase by some angle with each other, then and then there is a chance to produce the torque. Clear? So because of this reason, in the single phase motor we have only one flux. We need another flux to interaction of these two flux to generate the torque. We use the capacitor. So capacitor generate the another flux, and which is out of phase by some angle with this flux and generate the torque. Clear? Without this capacitor, we cannot generate the next another flux. So without the capacitor, your motor will not rotate. Clear? Try this if you have a capacitor at your home, one small single phase motor. If you provide the supply, without capacitor, it will not start running because there are only one phase. With one phase, your motor will never start because they never produce the torque. By providing the capacitor only, they generate the two flux and thus induce the torque or exert the torque on the rotor, and we start moving. Yeah. So because of this reason, single phase motor requires the external device like capacitor, where it is not required in the case of three phase motor. Understand it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's move for the next topic. As you already see that three-phase system, all these phases are displaced by an electrical angle of 120 degree. Now see the voltage and current relation for the star connected system. As you already see that what are the star connected and delta connected system. This is the one type of connection of your load. Okay. So what is the relation of voltage and current in star connected system? So let's see this figure of star connected load. Here these three windings, suppose that is a star connected winding of the generator which generates the power. Clear? So in this case, each phase has its own current. I give the name of each phase R, Y, and B. Clear? So three phase, there are three conductors. First conductor I call R1 terminal here. Second phase, this terminal Y1, and this terminal called B1 terminal. Clear? Each phase has its own current, and each line has its own current. IL1, that is a line current. Y phase line current is IL2. B phase line current is IL3. And each phase means each winding of each phase, that current is also here given IR, IY, and IB. Because here you can see that in the delta connection, in star connection, your line current IL1, that is same as your winding current. It means IR is equal to IL1. So if you see the voltage current relation in the star connected system, your phase current means IR, IY, and IB, that we call as a phase current, where IL1, IL2, and IL3 we call as a line current. So in the star connected system, the relationship between phase current and line current is like this way. Your phase current is equal to your line current. You can see that whatever current is flowing into this winding or in this phase IR, same current is flowing into this line of phase R. So IR is equal to IL1. Same way in the phase Y, IY phase current of Y phase, that is equal to current flowing into this line, which is IL2. So IY is equal to IL2. Same way in the third phase, IB is equal to IL3. So this is a current relation in the star connected system. Now what is the voltage? So voltage between R phase and neutral wire. This is a neutral wire which requires as a return path. If you use the single phase load, so you can connect this single phase load between the terminal R1 and neutral. So current is flowing from R phase to this winding and then return through this neutral wire. Same way if you want to connect the load between the Y phase and neutral, so current is flowing from Y phase winding and return through this neutral wire. So this neutral wire is required when if you want to connect the single phase load. Okay. So here, if you measure the voltage between any one phase and neutral terminal, that called as the phase voltage. So here in this system, you can see that if you measure the voltage between R and N phase, between R phase and neutral wire, that voltage is called as a ERN. This is called as a phase voltage of R phase. Same way, if you measure the voltage between Y phase and neutral wire, we call it as EYN. This is the phase voltage of Y phase. Same way, voltage measured between B phase and neutral wire, EBN. This is called as a phase voltage of phase B. Clear? So they are denoted by ERN, EYN, EBN. All are the phase voltage. So how to measure the phase voltage? Measure between the phase, or you can say between winding and neutral wire. Yeah? Where if you measure the voltage between two line means this line 1, line 2, and line 3. So if you measure the voltage between two line, it means between two phase, between R and Y, between Y and B, or between R and B. So that is called as a line voltage. So line voltage is denoted by, here you can see that VRY, that is a voltage between R phase and Y phase. This one. Yeah? Same way, if you measure the voltage between Y and B phase, VYB, and voltage measured between B and R phase, this one, that is also line voltage. Clear? Similarly, current flowing into each winding, as we already discussed, that is ER, EY, and EB. That is a phase current. Current flowing into this phase. Clear? That is called as a phase current. But here in this star connected load, your phase current is same as your line current. Line current is flowing into this each line 1, line 2, and line 3. So if you see the voltage and current relation here in the star connected balanced load, your phase current means IR, IY and IB, that is equal to what? That is phase current, and IL1, IL2 and IL3, that is your line current. All are same because here we assume that we have balanced load condition. Balanced load means at each terminal we connect the same value of load, same value of resistance or impedance. So in that case you get the same current in each phase, same current in each line, and same phase voltage as well as same line voltage. Now what is the relation? As you already see in the line current and phase current, both are same. So whatever current is flowing into R phase, IR, that is equal to current flowing into the line 1, means IR is equal to IL1. You can see in this figure, IR current, that is equal to IL1. Same way, phase Y current, IY, that is equal to current flowing into this line 2, IL2. Same way, IB is equal to line 3 current, IL3. So you can see here. So we can say that phase current, because IR, IY and IB is what? Phase current. And IL1, IL2 and IL3 is what? Line current. So in case of star connected system, your phase current is equal to line current. Yes? Now what is the voltage relation in this star connected system? So here in this star connected system, between two phase winding, we get the line voltage. Clear? As we see the VRY, VYB and VBR. So when two similar end of these two windings are connected together, so the EMF across each winding that oppose each other and the instantaneous value is of opposite polarity. That's we understand by mathematically. So here you can see the vector diagram of all these line voltage, or sorry, phase voltages, ERN, EYN and EBN. All these phases are 120 degree apart from each other. Clear? If you measure the voltage between R phase and Y phase. Clear? So for that you require the vector summation. So how to do this vector summation? So let's see this VRY. You can see that here in this figure, VRY, that is what? Voltage between R and Y phase. So this voltage is nothing but a vector summation of phase voltage VRN and vector of VYN, or you can say that VNY. Clear? So VRY, that is nothing but VR minus VY. Clear? So when you vector summation of, when you do the vector summation of these two vectors VRN and VNY, finally you get this vector which we call it as a VRY, and this VRY is nothing but a line voltage. If you see in this figure, so you can easily understand this VRY, that is a voltage between R and Y phase. So we already see that line phase voltage is what? Between phase and neutral. So this total voltage VRY, that is what? Summation of VRN and VYN. But VRN and VYN both are opposite to each other. If ERN is positive, then EYN is negative. Clear? Because same terminal of these windings are connected together. So it means that VRY is equal to what? ERN plus bracket minus EYN, or you can say that ERN plus ENY. Measure the voltage from N to Y terminal. Clear? If you measure the voltage from N to Y, then it is positive. If you measure the voltage from Y to N, then it is negative. Clear? So voltage between R and Y phase, that is a vector summation of ERN plus ENY. Clear? Same way, if you measure the voltage between Y and B phase, that is a vector summation of voltage between V yn plus V n b. Clear? So let's derive this mathematically here. You can see that. Okay, so here you can see that the derivation of line voltage between R and Y phase is equal to ERN plus ENY, or you can say that is ENY, that is replaced by minus EYN. So both the phase voltage ERN and EYN are opposite to each other. Clear? So that's why here it is written that similar end of these two windings are connected together. So EMF across, EMF means voltage across each phase that oppose each other. So the instantaneous value that have opposite polarity. So here ERN and EYN has opposite polarity. So line voltage is the difference between ERN minus EYN, and that is called as a phasor difference. ERN is one phase, EYN is another phase. So difference between these two phase we call as a phasor difference. So phasor difference between two phase we call as a line voltage or line to line voltage. So here this is a line to line voltage between R and Y phase. Similar, you can find out the line to line voltage between Y and B phase. So EYB, that is what? Phase voltage EYN minus phase voltage EBN. Same way, if you measure the voltage between B and R phase, so that is a phasor difference between phase EBN minus phase ERN. So this is a relation between phase voltage and line voltage. Now let's derive that what is the difference between line voltage and phase voltage in terms of magnitude. Clear? So you can see that here when you do the vector summation of this ERN and ENY, so the angle is created.
Sir, could you go back to the previous slide?
Yes. Yes. Is there any doubt?
Okay, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So if you see that in this figure, when you do the vector summation of ERN and VNY, the resultant vector that becomes VRY. And this resultant vector is 30-degree phase shifted with VRN and VNY. So if you calculate the value of this VRY, so you can write this equation like VRY, that is, we know that VRN minus VIN. Both the phase has the same magnitude because we assume that both they have same load. So if you write the equation in terms of phase voltage, so that is equal to 2 times phase voltage into cosine of the angle between two phase divided by 2. So here 60 degrees what? That is the angle between these two phase ERN and VNY. You can see in this figure what angle difference between VRN and VNY, that is a 60 degree. Clear? And each phase VRN and VNY has same magnitude. So if you calculate this resultant vector, so that is 2 times of this one phase voltage VRN or VNY. So that's why it is written 2 times phase voltage VPH into angle between two phase divided by 2, because angle between line voltage and any phase voltage is what? Only 30 degree. Clear? So it is half of the angle between two phase. It means 60 divided by 2. So the equation of line voltage in terms of phase voltage is 2 times phase voltage into cos 60 by 2, and cos 60 is root 3 by 2. So to do the simplification of this, so finally you get the line voltage is root 3 times your phase voltage. So this is the relation of voltage, line voltage and phase voltage in a star connected system. So in a star connected system, suppose your phase voltage is 20 volt. So your line voltage is what? Root 3 times 20 volt. Yeah. So this is the relation between line and phase voltage in a star connected system. All of you understand this derivation? Relation between line and phase voltage in a star connected system. Clear, all of you?
Sir, could you move back to the previous slide?
Okay. This figure. This one?
Yes, sir. Done. Okay.
Okay, you can see that here vector is VRY. Yeah, that is made by vector summation of VRN and VNY. Both have a same magnitude. So if you combine these two vectors, so that becomes 2 times cosine of angle with the phase voltage. So that's why we write that 2 times phase voltage means VPH. VPH is what? That is equal to VNY is equal to VRNY, VRN, or is equal to V and B. Clear? All the phase has same magnitude. So 2 times phase voltage into cosine of the angle between this resultant vector and phase vector. Clear? So finally you get the answer root 3 times phase voltage. Clear, all of you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now calculate the total power of 3-phase star connected system. So as we know the equation of power, P is equal to what? VI cos phi. But that is the equation of power in the single phase system. Clear? So here we have 3-phase system. So simple 3-phase total power is equal to what? 3 times power in one phase. Power in one phase, we know that that is what? VI cos phi. Clear? In that VI cos phi, V is what? Phase voltage, I is what? Phase current. And as we know that the relation of phase voltage and line voltage in this 3-phase star connected load. So if you write down this equation of total power in terms of line voltage and line current, so you can see that this phase voltage VPH, that is replaced by line voltage divided by root 3, because we have derived this equation line voltage VL, that is equal to what? Root 3 times phase voltage. So phase voltage is what? Line voltage divided by root 3. So here this phase voltage is replaced by VL by root 3 and phase current is replaced by line current. Why? Because in the star connected system, your phase current is equal to line current. Clear? As you can see here, we see that phase current is equal to line current. If you see in this figure also, whatever the current IR flowing into this winding, same current is flowing into this line IL. Same for the other two phases also. So in the star connected system, remember that line current is equal to phase current. Line voltage is root 3 times phase voltage. Clear? So when you put this value in the equation of 3-phase power, you get the final equation of total power in terms of line voltage and current equal to root 3 VL IL cos phi. P is equal to root 3 VL IL cos phi. This is the equation of total power in 3-phase star connected system. Star connected system. And this phi, this is what? Angle between phase voltage and phase current. Clear? This angle is not between the line voltage and line current. Remember this. This power factor angle phi, that is the angle between phase voltage and phase current. If you see in this vector diagram, so this is ERN phase and this is the IR phase current. Clear? So angle difference between phase voltage and phase current, that is nothing but this angle phi or power factor angle. Okay, this is not an angle between line voltage or line current. Clear? Remember this thing. So I hope it is clear to you the relation of voltage and current in a 3-phase star connected system. Clear, all of you? All of you clear this one? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So in the next lecture, we start this voltage and current relation in the delta connected system. We'll see in the next lecture. So here I stop this lecture. If you have any doubt, please ask this. Otherwise, we stop this lecture.